What if the most important person in modern physics was someone most people have never heard of? What if the equations that power quantum mechanics, that guide particle physics, that help us understand the universe itself, were built on the work of a woman who wasn't even allowed to officially teach? Germany. Early 1900s. Universities were not designed for women. Lecture halls were filled with men. Professors signed their names boldly on doors. But hers? Her name often wasn't even on the payroll. And yet, Albert Einstein called her a creative mathematical genius. Today, physicists call her theorem one of the most important discoveries in modern science. Her name was Emmy Noether. And her words, though fewer than politicians or presidents, carry the quiet power of truth. Tonight, we explore her most popular sayings, and why they still echo through classrooms, laboratories, and the very fabric of physics itself. My methods are really methods of working and thinking. This is why they have crept in everywhere anonymously. This quote became popular because it reflects humility and brilliance at the same time. Noether wasn't chasing fame. She was building frameworks. Her abstract algebra methods became foundational in mathematics, yet many early textbooks didn't even credit her properly. This quote resonates because it speaks to anyone whose work matters more than recognition. In academic circles especially, this line symbolizes intellectual legacy over ego. Algebra is generous, she often gives more than is asked of her. This quote is beloved among mathematicians. Why? Because it transforms math from something cold into something alive. By personifying algebra, Noether reveals how deeply she understood its beauty. The quote is popular because it reframes mathematics not as rigid calculation, but as creative discovery. Students and professors alike use it to show that math isn't just logic, it's exploration. Paraphrase teaching philosophy. When I began to study mathematics, I felt completely free. Though phrased differently in various retellings, this idea captures her spirit. Why is it popular? Because freedom through knowledge is a powerful theme. At a time when women faced barriers in academia, mathematics became her liberation. This resonates widely, especially for women in STEM, because it reflects empowerment through intellect. The spirit of Noether's theorem. Explained through her legacy. While not a casual quote, her theorem carries a statement often summarized as, "For every symmetry in nature, there is a corresponding conservation law." This idea became one of the most powerful principles in physics. Energy conservation. Momentum conservation. Angular momentum. All tied to symmetry. Why is this concept so popular? Because it reveals hidden order in chaos. It tells us that the universe is not random. It is structured. And that structure can be understood. Scientists call it beautiful. That word, beautiful, is rare in science, but common when speaking of her work. Einstein's praise about her. Albert Einstein once wrote that she was the most significant creative mathematical genius produced since the higher education of women began. Why is this associated quote powerful? Because recognition from Einstein amplifies her legacy. It validates what history almost overlooked. And it reminds audiences that greatness is sometimes quiet. Emmy Noether did not seek the spotlight. She did not lead armies. She did not govern nations. She built ideas. Invisible structures. Mathematical symmetries that hold the universe together. Her sayings endure not because they were loud, but because they were true. And sometimes, the most powerful voices in history are not the ones who shout, but the ones who solve. Because long after applause fades, equations remain.